with more on that American college student Otto Warmbier laid to rest. Thousands lining the streets, paying their respects to the young man who died 17 months after he was held captive initially in North Korea, held that entire time. Warmbier was released and returned home last week with extensive brain damage. Well, this morning, North Korea denied it cruelly treated or tortured him in a new statement released. Warmbier's release came as basketball star Dennis Rodman happened to be traveling to North Korea. The State Department has said Rodman had nothing to do with Otto's release. But in an ABC News exclusive this morning, the basketball player has a different take. Rodman and his agent Chris Volo, who traveled with him to North Korea, sat down with Michael Strahan for their first interview since the trip.
Otto Warmbier was released the same day that you went to North Korea.
Give all the prayer and love to his family, you know. But I didn't know he was sick.
But he wasn't sick. When he went there, he was fine. A year later, the same day you go over, he's released in a coma, and he passes away less than a week later. But this is in a place that you said this guy who runs this place is your friend. How can that happen and you still have these feelings and a sentiment?
Well, you know, you see me saying, oh my God, this guy's my friend. Guess what? I'm gonna die for this guy. No, it's not like that. It's like that. It's a friend of mine. Okay, great. I don't look at the political side about him. I look at the friendship about him. And with the whole political, with the kid that's got out and died, I didn't know that I was the one supposed to go over there and get him out.
Do you think being there had anything to do with that?
I know being there had something to do with it, because when I was organizing the trip, and I meet with the delegates here, you know, I addressed, you know, Otto Warmbier, and I said to them, we would need some type of good faith if we're ever going to do some type of future sports relations. So I asked 3 times.
Before you went?
Before we went. I asked on behalf of Dennis for his release 3 times. And they said they understood. That was all that was said in that meeting.
The same day that you go in, he's released, do you look at that and think maybe we're being used here? Maybe we're a distraction from that?
You know, I have, but there's no doubt in my mind that these trips and me asking on his behalf had a lot to do with it.
Otto's father said
Dennis Rodman had nothing to do with Otto. It's a diversion. You know, they just released Otto. It's a diversion.
We wanted to meet with him when we came back. You know, but we were told that, you know, it just couldn't happen.
With your contacts with North Korea, have you talked to anybody there and said what happened with this kid?
No, we haven't heard anything.
But it's just mysterious, Dennis. A 21-year-old healthy kid, all of a sudden he's in a coma. That's not normal. Something apparently happened. No one wants to say what happened, but something happened.
Well, like I said, I'm not into all that. Like I said, I was just so happy to see the kid released. Later that day, that's when we found out he was ill. No one knew that. I was just so happy to say, oh, he got released. I said, yes, we jumped up and down. All right, man, all right. Some good things came out of this trip. Okay, great.
So with 3 more Americans being held over there, are you going to lobby for their release as well?
If we could get more trips going over there, I think anything is possible.
It's possible.
You know?
Did you have a chance to meet with Kim Jong-un when you were there this time?
No, we didn't meet him this time. The previous times we did. I think the fact that, you know, my trip's been going over to North Korea is more like trying to get the communications for sports-wise. Anybody trying to release people, anytime trying to do political stuff, it's almost just trying to reach out for sports and see if I can bring sports to North Korea and North Korea coming to here.
From the first time you went to the last time you went, have you seen changes?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of changes. The fact that it is so modernized now. When you go over there and you hear the radio and people are talking, they're so happy now because it's more like it's civilized again.
You say happy and you say civilized, Dennis, and Kim Jong-un, you said, is a friend for life.
Right.
But he's a dictator who has suppressed other people, who has taken away some basic human rights. But you think everyone there is actually happy.
Yeah, I think because, you know, people don't see the good side about that country. But I think people don't see him as a friendly guy. But if you actually talk to him.
So when you see him, do you see a different guy?
Oh, yeah.
Does he smile? Does he does he talk? Is he open?
No, we always talk, right? We sing karaoke. It's all fun, ride horses, everything. I got a video from North Korea, right? You're gonna see that whole some snapshots. Those people don't hate us. It's the politics, it's the bad thing. If we can try to figure something out, just open the door. I can put my life on this, Michael. If Donald Trump had a chance, he would get on that damn plane and go over and shake his hand and try to make peace.
You're a Trump supporter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last week you said you think Trump would be pretty much happy.
Oh my God!
With you. Well, did he tell you that? Did you talk to him about it?
I would say, do you seriously, really? You think Donald Trump would give his right arm if he could fix that problem?
But have you talked to him about it?
No, I haven't talked to him. I've asked him right now. Donald, come talk to me. Let's try to work this out.
Why did both of you do something that is so controversial?
I'm like a, controversial person. I love it. Controversy makes bad, negative, and good publicity for everybody in the world. People today would do anything on TV just to be on TV.
Is that part of your motivation, to be on TV, or?
No, play this. I don't need to be on TV. I'm too damn famous for this. I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm saying, my God, what am I getting out of this? I'm going over there out of my kindness of my heart just to try to help. And next thing you know, I come back, wow, why'd I do that so bad? I'm not here to sit there and say, okay, I gotta be, It just sucks.
So, with that being said, and seeing you get emotional, do you think these trips you've taken have been worth all the criticism?
Absolutely.
I think it's worth it.
Dennis Rodman with Michael overnight, and let's bring in Bob Woodruff, who's traveled to North Korea 8 times. You know North Korea very well and what the people have gone through there. First of all, given what we just heard there, do you think Dennis Rodman played any role in Otto Warmbier's release here?
Well, we don't know because we don't know the reaction from within that country, but the timing was a little strange, which is true, because just when Otto was released out, he went over there. But this is an interesting story because Otto he left because he was in this horrible health condition. The government there probably wanted to get him out before he died there in their country. But there was an influence that he did have when Kenneth Bay was released a couple years ago, an American prisoner.
So Rodman has had influence before, as
he
we've
has.
seen. But in the meantime, what do you make, Bob, of this statement from North Korea just today saying they deny any cruelty towards Otto Warmbier, and in fact they say that they're the victims in this?
Well, what do you think? I mean, it's really hard to even know what's going on inside their country. For them to deny that is quite something. In fact, I've never really heard them have a statement like this to try to come, because this is getting so much attention. I'm sure they're wondering and afraid of how this is going to be portrayed
around the world.
Around the world, it's cruel.
You've got an incredible special tonight on 2020. You've been looking into this. What more have we learned about the 17 months that Otto Warmbier was in captivity?
Well, interesting. It's really difficult to say how he died, but they do know that he died because there was really a lack of oxygen in the brain. So the brain started to decay for more than a year. So when you talk about some kind of torture, the fact for sure, and they have to admit this, is that over there they knew that he was unconscious in a coma for more than a year, and they never even told the families, even the U.S. government at all, that this had happened. So that's a form of treatment as well. It does not meet the standards of the international standards. So no matter what you think about torture, what their talks about today is they never let this man back until right within a couple weeks before he died.
I'll tell you, it was really reassuring to see the entire community come out to support Otto Warmbier's parents. They've been through just an incredibly difficult time. And Bob has much more coming up tonight on a special edition of 2020, A Hostile Act. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC.